First question's from Rowan Kavner. Go ahead, Rowan.
Hey Dave, not exactly pertaining to today's game, but I'm just kind of curious what it's been like getting to know Clayton McCullough and what he's been able to bring to the major league staff.
He's already been very a great, obviously a great addition. We think very highly of him, have thought highly of him as a staff member in our organization on the player development side, but just really the players have taken to him. He's got a lot of history with a lot of our guys already as he helped develop them, but his just leadership, his energy, his content all have been well received, and really excited to see his development as a major league coach.
With Jimmy Nelson, how curious have you been just to see how he's feeling after every kind of outing? Do you have to check on him maybe a little closer than you would other guys?
I'd say yeah, and I think that's a good thing. Just understanding his history the last couple years, so just making sure as tonight he goes 2 innings potentially, and tomorrow just make sure he feels good and we can continue to progress because last year after an outing or a pen he didn't respond well, so hopefully our expectations that he'll come out of it feeling good and we can continue to build him up.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from Eric Steven. Go ahead, Eric.
Dave, AJ Pollock's in there today after yesterday. Is he going to be like going, back to back every so often now, or is it that kind of time of spring? Or I know some guys have still not done that.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to build guys up. Guys are on different programs, but the 3 in a row, playing a little bit longer on their feet, all that stuff, home, road, all these little variables. But AJ's in a good spot right now, and just the consistent at bats is good for him. So, but I'll be certainly mindful of not overtaxing these guys though as well.
Is there an update on Keibert Ruiz about like when he might get into a game?
Yeah, so I think that end of the week, I think that's my hope. He's here, looks good, caught a couple pens today. I know he's anxious, so we'll see. I'll just kind of talk to the training staff, medical staff, just to kind of see where he's at. But obviously, I'd like to get him in there as soon as possible. Was
he dealing with anything aside from the visa issues that he was like, okay.
Yeah, that was it. Physically, all that stuff, he's ready to go.
One other question. Omar Stevens, he's starting at short today, but he played left field last game, but he's never played that in a game in the regular season. Is that something that he was approached this year about, maybe add to his versatility?
Actually, to his credit, he brought it to our attention as far as his desire to, step out in the outfield a little bit and just add to his versatility. And you look at what we've done with guys like Kike and Chris Taylor and how valuable they can be. And Omar has that same skill set. So I just applaud him for initiating that conversation. So it's our job to make sure we move him around the diamond.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from Jorge Castillo. Go ahead.
Hey, Dave. Sorry if I missed the beginning of this, but has Brusdar thrown off a mound yet?
I know he's catching, playing catch, stretching it out, and Jorge, I don't know that. I think he has, but I don't know when it was. If it hasn't happened yet, it will happen in the next day or two. He's progressing very well. Just the arm and the body, all that stuff. I know he's getting antsy, and it should be in the next day or two if it already hasn't happened.
And how's Cody doing?
Cody's doing well. He's supposed to take some live at bats. I think it's tomorrow, and then be in a game right around the 15th, something like that. So in about right around a week, something like that, 14th or 15th, we're expecting to see him in a Major League Baseball game.
And with Victor Gonzalez, are you seeing a different kind of confidence with him this year?
Yeah, you know what? I think he's always been confident. I think just some of the unfamiliarity from years past and, even spring training last year, that's all dissipated. So I think there's more of a comfort level. I think the confidence has always been there, but certainly the validation of performing like he did for us on the biggest of stages adds to that confidence. So, yeah.
And when do you plan on having pitchers start hitting? I think you mentioned maybe next week or so.
Yeah, it's kind of, contingent on home road, if we want to get a DH in there. I know Cody's going to be DHing when he first gets back. So we're going to try to figure that out. Yeah, I mean, but next week is sort of the plan.
With Cody, you mentioned DHing. When do you expect him to be in the field? How long do you think
Yeah,
he'll have to DH?
I mean, I think it's going to be a kind of in the field, then a DH. So we want to make sure he's getting at bats. So he's obviously a high priority guy, but I'm certainly mindful of trying to get these pitchers some at bats as well. But with the DH potential, we're still trying to get looks at other guys as well.
And along those lines about trying to get pitchers at bats, a year after not going, not hitting, pitching, hitting as hard as it is, period. Do you think there's going to be a drop off, even a steeper drop off in their production at the plate, given they haven't hit in a year?
Yeah, I do. I think that there's going to be a drop off in performance in the batter's box. I think that the success rate for pitchers bunting, I think, will be a tick down. And also because the pitchers nowadays are they keep getting better and the stuff keeps getting better. So that makes it even more difficult.
Does that make it, is that bad for the game?
I mean, I don't know, bad, but it's probably not my preference. I've sort of crossed over to the other side.
Thank you, Dave.
Yep.
Next question is from Bill Plunkett. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Dave, Colorado gave the Rockies permission to have about 21,000 fans in the stands for your games there in April. What do you think that's going to feel like?
Man, it might feel like the World Series, I guess. It's great. It's great. And if that's the floor for Colorado, for Denver, I think that's fantastic. I'm not sure where we're going to be in Los Angeles, but I know that having an opening day, having Major League Baseball, having fans in the stands is exciting, regardless, if they're cheering for or against us.
And we've talked about Gavin Lux a few times this spring, and I might be reading into this, but you seem hesitant to say too much about him. Do you think the prospect status and all the talk last year might have gotten into his head and been, a deterrent?
I don't know, Bill, and I'm not hesitant to talk about Gavin. I think the world of him. I do think that, our expectation is for him to be a really good big league ball player for us this year. And I think he's past that prospect status but he's had a great camp up to this point. I talked about giving him a runway, and I think he's going to, really help us out this year.
Do you think he has made the step from trying to prove he belongs to believing that he belongs?
I hope so. I mean, time will tell, but I know that the messaging from me, the organization, has been consistent in that we're going to do everything to help him have success. But ultimately, it's on Gavin and to go out there and perform. But I do know that I'm expecting him to play really well for us.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Last question. Go ahead, Brooks.
Hey, Dave. Obviously a little bit of a different year, but this time last year was the first round of kind of roster cuts, or I guess just minor league reassignments. Is the plan this year to keep guys around as long as possible, like regardless of whether or not they're making the opening day roster?
No, I think that, when you look, after next weekend, early next week, it'll be a significant movement. We're going to thin the room out. I think it's important for the focus to kind of get a little bit more narrow as far as numbers, and other guys to go to the other side to kind of get their repetitions. So it's going to be a significant number, come Monday morning.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks, everybody.